Here at Hampton Court, I've been exploring how Henry VIII's burning desire for a male heir led him to discard his first two wives and break with the Catholic Church of Rome. I'm going back to the Chapel Royal to find out more. And this chapel played a huge part in Henry's life.
Absolutely, because the very year after all of these great seismic changes in England's religious life, Henry at last had a son via his third wife, Jane Seymour, who gave birth to Edward here at Hampton Court. And this is him.
Wow.
You can see he is literally a chip off the old block, isn't he?
In his finery.
In his finery, he's already dressed like a king.
Am I right in saying that it was the norm for them to christen their children immediately, almost after birth?
Absolutely, because of the high rates of infant mortality. But Henry delayed for 3 days. He wanted to give time for all the dignitaries of the kingdom to assemble here. He had a huge octagonal platform raised, on top of which the font was placed, so everybody would get a view of the proceedings. There had been hundreds of people from all over the world crammed into this chapel here. This is the defining moment of Henry's reign, and you can see up in the ceiling it's written, "God and my right." This is Henry really emphasising the fact he has divine authority. It's him and God. He's God's representative on earth.
At times of celebration, like the christening of Edward VI, the Tudor kitchens at the palace would go into overdrive. Wow, this is what you call a serious feast.
Hello there.
This is amazing. Lots of the meat I recognise, of course we eat it now, but some we definitely don't. Swan, peacock.
Yeah, they're rather extravagant Tudor dishes, those. And the recipe is just as complex because it tells you to take the whole skin and feathers off the bird, roast it on the fire, and then put it all straight back on, so that when it's served in the hall, you've got all these what looks like live birds being brought in by candlelight, and then they reveal the roasted birds.
So how many people would this have fed?
Well, oddly enough, this could be just for the king, placed in front of one man.
Wow. He had an appetite and a half.
He did.
And to wash it all down, were the drinks equally as elaborate?
Yes, I mean, they love their beer here, but they're all into expense, so as much imported wine as they can.
So this is what they would have drunk?
This is called Hippocras, a spiced wine.
This is first for me. Here we go. Bottoms up. Cheers. Wow, it's sweet, isn't it?
And now peppery. It goes 1-2.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely, though.
I like it. And this is the drink they served at the christening of Edward VI. The promised son is celebrated with wafers and spiced wine, and so this is the recipe.
So this would have been the best that they could have had for that special occasion.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
What would you say Henry's legacy is?
Without him, we probably wouldn't have had the Reformation, or at least not so early. He changed the face of England's religious life forever. Ironically, though, Edward stripped away a lot of the excesses of his father's court, but he was much more of a religious radical. He was thoroughly Protestant, and I think actually so much so that his father would have been absolutely shocked.
There's a twist in the tale as well, isn't there?
There is, because very early in Henry's reign, on New Year's Day 1511, his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, had given birth to a son, Henry, known as the New Year's Prince. Well, sadly, the little baby Henry died after just 7 weeks. If he'd lived, though, history would have been very different. Arguably, Henry VIII wouldn't have married 6 times, and perhaps we wouldn't have even had the Reformation.
Next week, Josie is at the January sales picking up some top tips how to manage your money, and there's Keep Fit, cathedral style. But let's end with a joyful hymn to send us out into the new year. Bye for now.
Next week's Songs of Praise is at 1:15. Next today, the Best of Country file from the last year, including a trip to the Yorkshire Dales.